Hey guys, this is Scott with this Nomadic Idea. I have never done this in a video before, but I think it's time to set the record straight. Eric from this Nomadic Fanatic, Quartzsite's not a toxic place. Neither is La Posa South. If you hang around toxic people, you're gonna get toxic people in your life. So let's set the record straight once and for all. Is Quartzsite safe? Is it toxic? Is it ridden with crime, druggies, and people that have mental health issues? Well, let's nip this in the bud once and for all. Okay, so I just went to the front gate at La Posa South and I talked to the crew out there. Darren is the head gate manager over there, and I asked him, is Quartzsite, La Posa South, is it toxic? He said no, not at all. In fact, most of their calls to emergency services or the Quartzsite police station or the sheriff is health related. That means you slammed your finger in your door, you broke your ankle, you may have gone into coronary arrest, heart attack. So those are the number one reasons why the sheriff comes out, or the Quartzsite police or EMS comes out to La Posa South. Okay, so then I asked him, I said, well, what's this, like sketchiness and people that have mental illness and all that stuff, where are they? He said, there's two places you should avoid. Scat and Wash, which used to be really good. That's where Bob Wells had his RTR. I've been back there before. I spent a winter out there. Man, it was super, super quiet, to be said, but people are going back there to kind of get away from everybody, and they're getting in trouble back there. The other place is La Posa North. He said La Posa North, because it's so close to the town, that's where most of your sketchiness. So I would say this, Eric, you probably should have said that kind of stuff instead of doing a video about trying to cover your ass. Did you get in trouble out here? Yeah, you did. So, the one thing that I really do not like about some YouTubers is that they're just not truthful. I'm going to tell you the truth no matter what. I'm not a big channel. I don't want to be a big channel. But I'm not going to lie for the sake of covering my own ass or to try to get views or to have you guys feel sorry for us. That's just not who we are. We've never been that way. And so that's the truth. That is the single truth about where the places to avoid. And I would say this, common sense would tell you that if you're looking for an apartment in Chicago, and you're afraid about crime, and you don't want to hear noise and gunshots all the time, maybe you shouldn't look for an apartment in the south side of Chicago, right? So if you don't want toxic things in your life, don't invite toxic things in your life. Putting up a party tent in La Posa South and saying, hey man, come on, let's party. You have every single YouTuber in the world trying to bleed subscribers, trying to get views, trying to, name their channel on your channel. And so you invited that. You brought that on yourself. And by the way, if you're trying to get sober, probably Quartzsite is not a good place to come. In your video that you posted, you said, oh yeah, Quartzsite's a great place to come. You come out here, have a few beers. Well, no, you don't have a few beers if you're trying to get sober. The other thing you said is that, I don't have to make a video every time I sell stuff. Well, did you sell your tent? Did you not sell your tent? What kind of drama did you bring on yourself? That's one of the things that you don't really take responsibility for in your video. So if you want to know where to go in Quartzsite in a safe and secure place, it's a big place, man. There's so many good people here. So I asked him point blank, what percentage of people that are out here are troublemakers? He looked at me, he said 1%. 1%. That's hardly Quartzsite as a toxic place. That's hardly a statistic where you have to feel afraid of where you're going to go. Everything out here is about common sense. Everything. He puts up this party tent, And you know, his previous video was, oh, I'm so glad to be here. Quartzsite's great. Oh my God, there's so much to do. I love Quartzsite. And then there was an altercation. And his next video is, Quartzsite's toxic. Is it a dangerous place to be? There's transients and whacked out people out here. Well, that part of it could be a little bit true. There's some kind of crazy people out here, but I guarantee you that those crazy people, they want nothing to do with regular people. And so as I'm driving around, I'm looking at these $300,000-$400,000 rigs that, by the way, make up the majority of what's in Quartzsite. The majority. The other rigs that are out here are probably being financed through Camping World. The other very small 5% are, you know, retrofitted schoolies, vans, and older rigs that people are just traveling around in because they can't really afford very much, which is fine. Here's the truth. Quartzsite is like any other town in America. There's good spots. There's spots to be aware of. There's spots that you have to be more self-aware than others. But 90% of everybody that comes out here just wants to camp out in a freeway. Free. They don't want to bother anybody, and they don't want to be bothered. They just want to enjoy Quartzsite and its quirkiness. Most of it's an older population. You're not going to see a lot of young people out here. And when you do, they are centralized in a centralized spot. That party atmosphere is going to be in two places. That's going to be probably at Dome Rock, which is not that far outside of Quartzsite. It's only a few miles. And it's probably going to be in La Posa South, out near where the pavement ends past the garbage and water, at the junction, or other like the lit cactus around there, but that's not even really going on that much anymore. But it's kind of further down. That's it, man. I mean, you might have, like, you have a drum circle at in La Posa West, and you've got some events over there, but for the most part, all of the events in the desert here are organized. And they can only go until about 10 o'clock at night. At least the bands do. The campfires and stuff obviously go a lot longer. But any organized event is not going to go into the wee hours of night. Now, I'm not saying there's not going to be music playing. But we're not talking about music. We're not talking about generators. We're not talking about, you know, if it's loud or not. That's not what this video is about. This video is it dangerous or is it safe to camp out here? By the way, did that look toxic to you? Did that look like a bunch of people that had mental health issues and just were full of toxic behavior? You have to be the judge of your own vibe and what you want to do, where you want to go, and who you want to be with. So, you know, like if you want quiet, you know, want to kind of chill out alone and just kind of be by yourself and hang out in Quartzsite, coming to places like an event camp like the Prickly Bush, last year, a few years ago, it was a lit cactus, the Junction, any place where they're going to have music. And normally, that's all published information. Nothing is ever not published. So, you know, any of the Facebook groups are going to tell you where the music is and where the events are. Okay, so here's a tip for all you young boys and girls out there. If you're going to come to Quartzsite, okay, announce you're coming and bring a party tent. put the party tent up, and your whole YouTube channel career is about you drinking and getting drunk. You decide to get sober in Quartzsite. You come to Quartzsite, you stop drinking, and you're going to build a party tent. A party tent. Tell everybody where you are. You're not hiding. You're camping where everybody can see you, right? And then have disco lights, all kinds of LED special lights in your party tent, and then people start coming over expecting to do exactly what you've built. And then you get upset if someone shows up either drunk or, you know, they want to meet you or whatever the case was, and you say, no, I don't want you here. Well, I would have to say it's not YouTube or Quartzsite that's toxic, especially Quartzsite. It's not dangerous. It's not crime-ridden. You're just a dumbass if you think you're going to build a party tent and then expect nobody to come to your party or have everybody to come to your party. You know, I mean, there's certain things you just don't do if you don't want anybody to come and visit you. Look, I really don't care what happened. I could care less. I could care less about him, his channel, anything like that. I saw him setting up. He wasn't that far away from us. I saw his party tent. You know, I saw the whole thing where he was setting up. It doesn't make any difference. I'm sure he's a good guy. I didn't really ever watch any of his channels. Maybe some of the stuff when he went off grid was a little bit more interesting to me. I don't really care. But I do care about when you start bashing other people for the sake of trying to make yourself look good. And I'll bet you the video you posted calling Quartzsite toxic, I'll bet you monetized it, didn't you? So it's that kind of BS, and I have a pretty good BS meter. That video was all full of BS. So I'm going to take that whole video and the toxicity and the mental health issues and the crime issues of Quartzsite. I'm going to pretty much take that with a grain of salt. Why? Because I'm here. If it was dangerous or toxic, I can guarantee you one thing, Ariane and I would not be here. So anyway, you guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I had to get that BS off my chest. It was really bothering me, especially because we really like it out here. Quartzsite is quirky. It's fun. It's as fun as you want to make it, or it is as toxic as you want to make it. That's always been up to the individual. So anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. Please give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you want to. Otherwise, we will see you in the queue if you want to come and say hi to us. Just ask. I probably will not have a party tent, though. We'll see you guys later. Bye.